Okay, welcome to the deep dive. We are jumping into some source material you shared with us today.
Yeah, this one's an email, right? About a group called Give Basic Needs.
Exactly. An email announcing a pretty big development for them.
It gives us a good look, I think, into how they operate. A very
Right.
sort of direct approach.
Right. Their mission, laid out right there in the email, it's about reducing suffering, amplifying happiness globally.
Mm-hmm.
They use this phrase, small acts, big happy, which I quite like. And they do it by focusing on, the absolute basics.
Food, shelter, medical stuff.
Yeah.
The real fundamentals for well-being, as the source kind of frames it.
Precisely. And the big news, the reason for the email, is that Give Basic Needs just launched a brand new website. It's givebasicneeds.org.
Which is always a big step, isn't it? For expanding reach, impact. The email makes it sound like a new central hub for them.
Yeah, definitely. So what we want to do here, our mission for this deep dive, is just to quickly unpack what this source tells us.
Like what the organization is really about.
Yeah, what they do, how the email says they operate, and what this new site means for them and maybe for you listening.
No?
I'm quite interested, actually, in this idea the source brings up how meeting basic needs connects directly to, well, happiness.
It is fascinating. The source really links providing essentials not just to, immediate help, but to creating space where happiness can actually grow. It's a strong connection they're making.
So let's get into what this new website actually shows, because the email points to it for understanding a few key things. First off, it really hammers home their mission, right?
That focus. Reducing suffering by meeting needs directly. The whole small acts, big happy idea.
And beyond just stating the mission, the website, or at least how the email describes it, lets you actually see their impact.
Yeah, it mentions showcasing what, over 50 past projects from the last 4 years.
And this is where the transparency aspect, which the email really highlights, comes in. On the site, you can apparently see videos, photos.
And it's mapped out, right? So you see exactly where the help landed.
Exactly. In the US, Ghana, Mexico, you can see the specific locations. That kind of detail, that verifiable proof, seems key to their approach based on this source.
It really emphasizes how direct their model is.
Yeah.
And the source tries to explain the why behind it, too.
Which is,
Well, the idea is that by providing these vital resources, they're creating the conditions for happiness. And happier people, the source suggests, are more empathetic, better problem solvers.
you're resilient, yeah.
So these giving events aren't just about the stuff, but about creating this positive ripple effect.
Okay, so that's the what and why. How do they actually do it, according to the email? It calls Give Basic Needs a global movement, spreading happiness by randomly providing resources.
Through giving events, yeah. Seems like program assistance, identify needs, get approval for projects feeding people, shelter improvements, medical costs.
Right. And then for transparency, which the source keeps coming back to, they take photos of recipients,
With the date, time, and geo-coordinates embedded right on the image.
which is pretty specific, and funding. The email says it's from organizational investment income and, naturally, donations.
Which brings us to how you can get involved, which the email also covers, and the new website makes it easier.
Right. So donating is the big one. Contributions go straight to their initiatives. And for U.S. listeners, they mention it's tax deductible. They're a 501c3.
That's the standard U.S. nonprofit status, yeah. And the website now lets you pick which country you want your donation to help.
Seems so, yeah. U.S., Ghana, or Mexico.
And if you're in the U.S., you can also shop their merchandise. Purchases help fund donations, too.
And the last way, maybe the simplest, is just spreading the word, sharing what they do.
If we loop back to that core idea from the source,
Hmm.
it's this compelling thought that, happiness needs basic needs met first.
And that happier people contribute more positively, more empathy, more resilience.
Exactly.
Okay, so wrapping up the key points from this source. Give Them Basic Needs has this direct, needs-focused mission, small acts, big happy. They emphasize transparency using things like geotagged photos.
They've got reach in the U.S., Ghana, Mexico, over 4 years.
And this new website is their way to boost connection and impact. And you can get involved by donating, choosing a country, even shopping merch in the U.S., or just sharing their story.
And underlying it all is that philosophy from the source. Focus on the basics. Create the groundwork for people to flourish.
It really leaves you with that question, doesn't it? The one kind of implied by their whole message. How could focusing on these individual, maybe seemingly small acts for basic needs actually build up? Could it create a real global wave of big happy?
What does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah,
Definitely something to think about.
absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing the source material with us for the deep dive today.